All right, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Sunday, October 6th, 2019. This is my newest segment of Markets a Look Ahead, and it's going to be a big one. People, there is so much going on now behind the scenes and in our face. We really have to sit back and take this all in, and this will make it absolutely clear, and it should, to what we need to be doing here. So let's start off again with what we know and what we've been told is going to occur from Fed presidents, from the Federal Reserve itself, and how this stock market is soon to hit new record highs. So make no mistake about it. At this point, the Federal Reserve is absolutely running the show. There is no other entity out here in the world that right now is putting more effort into keeping this stock market moving higher, becoming more distorted from reality, and it's all a setup. As it always is, this is no different than any time before with regard to being a setup, a wealth transfer on an unimaginable scale, simply legally stealing wealth from the masses and transferring it to the upper echelon of society, the 1%, something that is a repetitive pattern we have witnessed throughout history, and it will not stop. This is going to be the biggest one of them all. As you well know if you follow this blog. So we found out on Friday, and I did a whole video about it, we are now in QE6, quantitative easing 6. The Federal Reserve has now expanded and extended its both short and longer term debt or bond purchases. Now, I've explained to you since, way before this even started, that we were about to see things that we couldn't believe happen. But you have to also understand that just a few weeks ago, we heard from Fed President Bullard. Fed President Bullard on CNBC Live laid it out. He explained to us all, I did it before him because it's so obvious to know what was going to come out of their mouths. But he backed up everything I said. He explained that the Federal Reserve is about to expand its balance sheet, or inflate it. Okay, that's he can't say that, but that's what he meant. He also explained that the banks are demanding capital. Now, what he was trying to say is the banks need to be recapitalized. Again, something I've explained to all of you. I scare myself. I'm not going to lie. But I do study this stuff around the clock. I think, and I believe this, that I understand central banking better than most people on the planet because I study it. It's a fascinating thing to me to understand how central banking works. And then, of course, you get the people that throw their opinions out there without understanding what's actually happening, and they're blind. They can't see what's going on around them. So, being that now we have entered this new round of quantitative easing, this new round of bank bailouts, recapitalizing the banks. Fed President Bullard, explained that banks are requiring capital. That should tell us something here too. We're obviously being forced to bail out the banks once again. It's not being spoken about anywhere. And the bigger part of this entire thing is understanding the charade that has been played upon not just the people here in the United States, but the people of the world. What I'm referring to specifically is the game between the Federal Reserve and the White House. The good cop, bad cop, keeping people off balance like this. Again, it's a tactic that has been used since time immemorial to keep people not understanding what's actually going on. But it's so simple. Now that we understand that both the Federal Reserve, the White House, and the President of the United States are absolutely synchronized, like I covered in the video on Friday, I cannot stress to you how bullish this is for the stock market. These distortions are going to get monumentally worse. You know why? It's just so simple to understand. It's working. It's a scheme that is working. People are borrowing. Margin debt right now, in other words, the amount of cash that people have borrowed and corporations have borrowed to participate in this engineered rally is at record highs, all-time record highs. So that should put a light on what we're seeing here. Again, it's the illusion, it is the lie, but it's the setup. Very simple. Get people to keep plowing cash into their accounts that only make money when the stock market goes up, only to pull the cord and reverse this thing as hard as they possibly can before anyone wakes up to say, hey, hold on a second. But again, this is, in my opinion now, because this is a game changer. I explained to you on Friday that this new round of quantitative easing, which is perpetual, okay, until they're done, this is not going to end next month. It was supposed to end on the 10th of this month. Today is the 6th, so 4 days. They extended it about a month, and not only did they extend it, they expanded it. Their purchases are larger. Not only are their purchases larger, but the Federal Reserve is now buying every part of the yield curve, every part of the curve, to keep it rigged, to continue to suppress rates. But there's a bigger part of it as well. There is a bigger part of this. People, this is so humongous. The Federal Reserve is again about to embark on a series of rate cuts. No surprise to you. And how do we know that's coming? Well, first of all, I've been explaining that to you since before we got the news. But we've been hearing several Fed presidents who were against cutting rates now explaining that they are on board and will support it. The setup here is unbelievable. And there are still the faction of people who believe there is something else going on. They refuse to see what's going on in front of their face. I have explained to people how things have been playing out before they happened. And then when it happens, they still deny it. It's incredible. It really is. They believe there is another plan going on. They think they're going to... See, these people, unfortunately, they're stuck in a savior complex. No human being is going to save you in this environment. You are being set up by the Federal Reserve and the White House right now to be absolutely destroyed from a financial standpoint. Again, it's a multi-decade plan, and no one is going to stop it. No one person is strong enough to do it. No one person wants to do it at this particular time. So stop looking at that. Think about what you need to do for yourself. At this point, what you can do to get yourself in the right spots. And again, goes back to how I started off this video. Being that we know what's going on, forget about what we're even speculating. We don't even have to speculate. It's all laid out for us right now, what they're going to do. The Fed is going to go beyond nuclear, like I've explained to you. Like I explained to you, world central banks were going to do before they did it several months ago. Well, they're all doing it. The Federal Reserve is about to turn its final key here. To really get this thing just going beyond, because that's the plan. The real plan here is for these central banks to become the lenders and buyers of last resort. The banks that run every single world central bank, they're all the same. Their goal is to own the world. Their goal is to dictate your life, to force you to transact in their issued notes, period. That's it. It's not a science fiction movie. Open your eyes, you will see that Greg is 100% correct. And where's the proof of that? Tell me where I've gotten any of this wrong. For as far back as you can remember, if you follow this blog, you probably go sometimes and go, how did Greg know that? How did Greg pull that out of a hat when you see it come out in the news a couple of days later or a week later? Again, it's so easy to understand what they're going to do before they do it, because the plan has been exposed. We understand it. Couldn't be more easy. It makes, again, our life simple. People, this new phase, like I covered, I called this a new phase Friday, really is going to blow you away. You haven't seen anything yet as to what's coming. These are the opening salvos of an unbelievable expansion of debt on an unprecedented scale. Massive amounts of dollar intervention. I'm going to use the president's own words here again, which means devaluation. Understand, look at the way words are chosen by Fed presidents, by the President of the United States, by Fed spokespeople. They're chosen very carefully, and they're meant to do that so people don't have a real grasp on it. Going back to Bullard, expanding the balance sheet. People don't really know what that means. Of course, it means inflating the balance sheet. Dollar intervention, President's own words, the President of the United States. He's saying dollar devaluation. He can't say it. The words are chosen, so they are ambiguous to a certain degree to most people. Now, you get it, because you have a few functioning brain cells, thank God. But anyway, so we need to be understanding that we need to hold hard assets here. Can't stress this enough in this environment. Let them play their game. Physical silver remains my ultimate all-time favorite of them all. I love gold. I love platinum. I love palladium too. But silver is where you need to be. Hoard it. Hoard it in this environment. This is how you bet against the debt. This is how you become your own central bank. I also believe cryptocurrencies do play a role here. I think they are in an inverse bubble, as are precious metals, because of the rigging that's going on behind the scenes. Shouldn't be too hard for you to understand. This will correct to fair value along with everything else at one time, but not until they literally they've sucked everything they can out of every single member of the middle class that's fallen into this trap. And the small-minded out here are going to suffer the most as we move forward here. But there's always winners and there's always losers. We know what we need to do. We will not lose. We will not lose. There is no way I'm going to let you lose. You all know that. From the perspective of becoming your own central bank, betting against the debt, playing this market, everything I offer you is for free. Right on my website, traderschoice.net, how to beat this market, trading systems, everything you can do is all there. You play this market. You use it as a weapon against them. You take that cash that you make in the market and you convert that into other assets. Couldn't be more simple. I've covered every angle of this for you for multiple years. And I don't think there's a guy out here who's made it easier for you to do it and understand it, which is the key to this entire thing, is having an understanding of where we are at, the game that is being played against you, and where we are going. It's the truth. All right, people, look, I know this has been an awfully long video, but again, I think I covered very important things in this video blog. Stocks are going up. New record highs are in the cards. There's no doubt about it. That does not mean the market is not going to fluctuate. It is a random walk with an upward drift. You got it? So there's going to be money or cash to be made on both sides of this market. If you are one of my lions, if you are a trader here, when you wake up in the morning and you look at your trading platform, or if you're using one of my free ones from traderschoice.net, trade the market you have that's in front of you, all right? Not the one you're thinking about a month from today, all right? I have become a very prolific day trader. In fact, I never thought I would be a day trader. I was never able to pull it off. I've admitted this many times. I have been a swing trader for most of my career, and a pretty damn good one. But now, with the quant system, I'm working on a new system right now too, which I will publish for free for all of you. I have become a pretty damn good day trader. Anyway, all right, this guy loves all of you, and I mean that Please share this video. Get it out there. Let's make a difference in the world. It's got to start with someone. It might as well start with you and me. And if you're one of my team, nearly 100,000 strong, I'm counting on you. Let's get it out there. I will see all of you in the morning, and tomorrow is going to be epic, I'm certain.